embargo is the biggest lie that the Cuban government and the Cuban Communist Party have been selling to the entire world for over 62 years. What triggered that action, and I have news for you, was actually the constitutionally protected right to individual property that the United States Constitution provides to American citizens, no matter where they live and no matter where they have their business. It started with an act of the United States Congress to protect the companies and the private property of American citizens that were in Cuba, that were illegally expropriated and stolen by Fidel Castro and the Communist Party without paying legally the way that they were supposed to pay. So right there, you have a clear example of how is it to live in a totalitarian centralized economy and country, and how is it to live in a society where the law of the land and the constitution and the structures of government actually protect your individual property rights, whether it's a huge company or whether it's a little house in a small town in a rural given location. So that's the number one biggest lie that happened right there. And sadly, the entire world has fallen for that lie, like I said before, for more than 62 years. Because the problem is not the embargo, because the problem is the centralized economy that have destroyed the living standards of the country for over 60 years. It's an economy that is completely crumbling down, and because of the lack of freedom and because of the government control that is literally crushing human ingenuity. And this God-given right that we have, to excel and to improve in life. If that's the case, again, the embargo is not the fault of the misery in Cuba. The person and the system to be at fault for the disaster that Cuba is nowadays in 2023 is the government control, the centralization of the economy, the lack of free market, and the destruction of the freedom and the individual rights of the Cuban population.